Hello everyone, welcome to the walkthrough of the game Othercide. So today we will have a look at our first Penance Mission. So what is Penance Mission and what exactly do we have to do in it? So this is a hard mission, it's rated hard. So it's easier than impossible, but more difficult than a challenging mission. Now we are in the Plague Cemetery with a claustrophobic openness and we don't know what threats we have. So the idea of Penance Mission is we have to kill enemies to fill our daughter's penance gauge. And once we fill the penance gauge, we will be able to escape. So there is an issue with strength of number as well as how to manage our daughter in Penance Mission. The biggest difference between Penance Mission and, let's say, a Hunt mission is that in a Hunt mission, you just have to defeat all the enemies. And you can defeat them in any order. However, in Penance Mission, as you defeat enemies, it will fill up a gauge. So once that gauge is filled, your daughter would leave the mission. This means as you defeat more enemies, if you're not careful, your daughters may leave the mission sooner than expected, and you will have only less than 2 daughters. So you may have less than the number of daughters that you brought. So if you bring 3 daughters, you might only have 2 daughters on the map, and that means your team becomes weaker. Penance Mission is the only type of mission where I recommend you bring less than 3 daughters. You can, what I mean by that is, it is the only mission that you can bring less than 3 daughters. You can bring 2 daughters. The easiest way to do a penance mission is actually, in some situation, is just with 1 daughter. But it's the only mission type that you can do it with 1 daughter, and doing with 1 daughter might be easier than doing with 3 daughters. So it's the only mission that if you only have 1 daughter left on your team, or if you just want to beat the mission quickly, you can do it with 1 daughter. And sometimes using 1 daughter on your team is easier than 3 daughters. And the reason for that is because you only need to kill a certain number of enemies, then you can escape from the map. I have done it plenty of times with 1 daughter, and I'm going to show you guys this time how to do it with 3 daughters. Actually, in certain missions, having 3 daughters is much more difficult than just having 1 daughter for Penance Mission. However, for other types of mission like Hunt, Survival, rescue missions, I always recommend you bring the maximum number of daughters that is allowed, especially for Hunt missions, because there's no reason not to. For Penance missions, it might be easier just to have 1 daughter. Obviously, you're losing out experience for your other daughters, because bringing 3 daughters, all 3 daughters will get the 250 experience here. Okay, so we're gonna quickly look at our team composition. So for Penance missions, if we're allowed to bring 3 daughters, we're gonna bring Blade Master, Soul Slinger, and Shield Bearer. It's simple. And we just see if we can have any extra memories equipped on these daughters. Okay, so I might bring Jill by upgrading her memory. So Jill is a little bit lower level, but it's okay, because I want my Soul Slinger to level up. Soul Slingers are very strong characters. Alright, so we're going to bring our strongest team, except our Soul Slinger, which we're going to bring Jill. Okay, so you are able to do this with just 1 Blade Master. And if you want to bring just 1 daughter for Penance missions, Blade Master will be your choice. You can also bring a Shield Bearer, but I think Shield Bearers will be the last option. It's either a Blade Master, Soul Slinger, and a Shield Bearer. When you bring a Soul Slinger as a solo Penance mission, make sure she has a lot of offensive skills, such as AoE attacks like Wrathful Rain, Protected Force, or Detonating Shot. Don't bring a Soul Slinger which only have boost skills. But Blade Master is the easiest as a solo penance mission. Alright, let's go ahead. And the Plague Cemetery is actually one of the more difficult maps. And the reason for that is it's possible for your daughters to spawn away from each other.
You wouldn't want my scalpel to slip into innocent flesh.
Okay, synapse, penance. Your daughter have entered their first penance synapse.
The plague will bleed this city until we cut the cure from that cursed child.
Filling a daughter's penance gauge by killing enemies will save her, but as strength in numbers is key. Try not to leave a daughter behind. Powerful enemies fill the gauge faster. As killing fills penance gauge, be wary of that killing enemies using interruption and reactions can cause your daughter to leave the synapse unexpectedly. Use these powerful skills wisely. So the tutorial is not accurate. Killing your enemies with interception skills or reactionary skills such as shadow rounds will not cause you to unexpectedly leave, but sometimes because the gauge unexpectedly fills, your daughters will leave. So your daughters will leave only when the gauge fills, no matter how you defeat the enemy. Even if you defeat the enemy with reactionary skills, only if your daughter fills up the penance gauge. What that description in the tutorial means is that be careful when using reactionary skills, because sometimes you forget you cast them and you can unexpectedly defeat enemies that you don't want to defeat. So that's what it says. Now, if you go to the main menu, you can flee the penance mission, but your daughters that's in the map will die. Okay, so be very, very careful. So you can't really run away from your penance mission without penalties. Running away from a hunt mission doesn't have any penalties, except you can't use your daughters for that day. Your daughters will not die if you run away from the hunt mission, but your daughters will die if they're already if they haven't escaped from the penance mission yet. Okay, so it's a very difficult situation because our daughters are spawned very far from each other. Our Blade Master is all the way on the back. Our Shield Bearer is facing a lot of enemies. So we have a choice here. We can use our Shield Bearer to attack these enemies as quickly as we can now, just to defeat them, or we can try to regroup. So I'm going to try to regroup because I think that's a better strategy. So first we are going to move our Shield Bearer. We can't move our Shield Bearer, sorry. I'm going to move our Soul Slinger towards the middle because I need to make sure that I regroup my daughters because there is strength in numbers, as they say. Remember, because if you kill too many enemies with one daughter, that daughter will get out from penance. So you want to defeat enemies evenly. So you want to spread out the kill. If you do it, if you're just using one daughter to defeat enemies, that daughter will prematurely escape from the penance mission, and it will be bad for you because, as I said, strength in numbers. Remember that. So, okay, I have 110 AP, so that's going to be really, really helpful. Is there a place that I can go to use Lightning Strike? Let me just check. Can I use Lightning Strike here? No, I think I'm just one tile short, right? Yeah. So you want to spread out the kills evenly, okay? So this can be very difficult to do in certain situations. And you might end up just with one character left and many enemies that you're going to try to defeat. So it's not a good thing. Okay, so I'm in a tough spot, because I can't defeat those two enemies with Bella, because if I do that, Bella would then leave the synapse. Okay, so there's no place that I can go to take a shot. So that's the only place that I can go is here. So I just want to group all my units together. And I want to try to move my allies towards each other as quickly as I can. So Bella is in a tough spot. So I have to decide who I'm going to take down first. This person or this person. Right, I can't defeat both of them. If I do that, it's a problem because I will be able to, it's just a problem. Okay, so what I can do here is I can be clever. So I can use Lightning Strike to weaken this guy. And then I can use Slash to take down this guy. Now, because Slash is 100% chance to hit, it's okay. So, but you might be wondering, why don't you just use Slash first? Then Lightning Strike, because Lightning Strike may hit a critical and you may end up defeating this enemy, and that's going to be a real problem if you Slash first, right? So because if I use Slash first to take this enemy down, then I use Lightning Strike on him, I hit a critical, then I would have escaped, then I would have filled up my penance gauge because I've defeated two enemies, and I would have got out of the synapse. And that's a real problem because then I only have two daughters left on the map. Once a daughter escapes from the penance mission, or once they defeat enough enemies to fill up their penance gauge, they will not come back for this mission. So it's a real problem. So I'm going to use Lightning Strike to hit this guy first. Okay, I didn't hit a critical. It's okay. Then I'm going to use Slash. Now this is a guaranteed kill or guaranteed hit, so I'm not worried.
Impressive.
Okay, so now these guys is what I'm worried about because they may come around and try to attack my Blade Master. I don't want them to attack my Blade Master because my Blade Master is the most squishy. She has the least amount of armor, whilst my Soul Slinger and my Shield Bearer has a lot of armor, and they'll be able to tank these guys. So I'm not worried about it first because they are not able to reach me. So they're not a threat because they can't reach me. And my Shield Bearer can intercept this guy. Okay, so Jill gets a backstab on this person, so it's a guaranteed hit. Okay, guaranteed hit. It cannot miss.
You can't stop progress. The cure will be found.
Backstabs guaranteed hit. It can't. Enemies cannot escape from them. In addition to that,
Memories of another life. Guard them
backstabs
well.
also do extra damage. Flank hits cause enemy dodge to be reduced by 50%, so they are unable to dodge. So their dodge, if they have a 20% dodge, it becomes 10% dodge. So you have a 90% chance to hit them rather than 80%. Backstabs makes them dodge go to 0. So it reduces their dodge chance by 100%, so they cannot dodge. It also means you also can't dodge from backstabs as well, so just be aware. Okay, so what I can do here is I can move up or I can attack this enemy. But remember to share the how many enemies you take down. Don't defeat all the enemies at the same time with one character. So I'm just going to leave her here. I'm not going to do anything. Now I have my Shield Bearer. I can use my Shield Bearer here, and I can attack this enemy. Now, normally I would think Slam will be the better choice because if I use Slam, it's guaranteed damage and it also pushes him back. But I'm gonna gamble with my chance with Lunge because I can then get some heal on the penance. Oh, I can get some
victory.
feel on the penance gauge. And I won the gamble. Okay. So simple. I'm going to use lightning strike to take this enemy down. Now these are smaller enemies. That's why they don't feel the penance gauge as much.
Impressive.
Now she is the last on the timeline. Bella is the furthest down the timeline. I'm going to put her in a blind spot here. This person is not able to target lock on her. See, this enemy can't target lock her because she is in a blind spot. This person may be able to target lock, but they need to move. Okay, with a massive shot. I'm not worried because she will be able to move before the massive shot hits. Now this person has moved, but is unable to lock on with massive shot because I'm in their minimum range. Enemies will spawn soon, so I need to be careful. So again, they're gonna lock on with massive shot. Okay, so I'm gonna put myself here. I can use slam or lunge. I think lunge will be better because I can get extra fill on my penance gauge. The reason this person didn't lock on me is because massive shot has a minimum range of 2 tiles.
Guard them well.
This means if I'm within the minimum range, they cannot attack. Okay, so I can go for a hit here to take this person down.
A clean cut.
Alright, so now almost everybody is close to filling their penance gauge, but there's only 2 enemies and I still have 4 points of penance gauge to fill. That's why extra enemies are spawning. I'm just going to move her away a little bit towards this area, just towards the middle. I don't know where the enemies are spawning exactly. I'm going to move Rebecca here in a blind spot. I'm going to move Joe in a blind spot as well. Okay, so there's an enemy spawning here and there's an enemy here. Okay, so this is a dangerous enemy, the hunter. We'll deal with them later. So I'm going to move her here in a blind spot. So these 2 enemies has to come around in order to lock on Jill, because Jill is furthest down the timeline. If they come around here, they're going to get intercepted by Rebecca and Bella, because they're going to come around here exactly going into my melee range. Because they have to go around here in order to be able to lock on. If they go around this way, if these enemies go around this way, they're unable to lock on because of this obstacle that's blocking line of sight. I think it blocks line of sight. I don't know if it does. Okay, exactly, they're moving into the position that I want them to move into. And I should be able to take these guys out using lightning strike. I could also come around here, use imbued blade to take down both of these enemies. But I need to be careful. It is possible to defeat too many enemies with one character and you can get a character stuck in the Penance Mission. It's unlikely, but it is not impossible. So I have to make a decision here what I do. I also have this big looking hunter coming, try to defeat me or try to cause me problem. So I'm gonna take the easy way out, is to use imbued blade here. This way I can get two enemies with one hit. Yes, I would have consumed extra on my penance gauge, but it's okay. I'm not particularly worried because I still have my shield bearer. Okay, so I need to move Rebecca here to help out. So my order of preference for who leaves the Penance Mission is always Blade Master, Soul Slinger, and Shield Bearer. Shield Bearer is the last one to leave because Shield Bearers can have high armor using Blacksmith's Grace, and Shield Bearers have Slam, which can delay enemy movement. So Shield Bearers are able to tank. and they can delay enemies. So Shield Bearer should be the last one to leave, while Blade Master should be the first one to leave because they're the most squishy. Shield Bearers can also help out the Soul Slinger by delaying enemies, allowing the Soul Slinger to take the kill. You can also position in enemies' melee range, so you can move your Soul Slinger and then attack enemies from the flank. So Blade Master, I want to go first, then I want the Soul Slinger to leave, then the Shield Bearer. Shield Bearer always goes last because she is the strongest and most tanky. If she gets surrounded by enemies, it's not a problem because she can delay them with Slam, and also she can tank with Blacksmith's Grace. Okay, I'm just going to go for hits here. I don't mind if I go out with the... Okay, so I broke my own rule, but basically there's not a huge... I mean, the Shield Bearer, the Soul Slinger and the Blade Master kind of went out first.
Progress has its setbacks.
Don't worry, that's just a bug that the Blade Master...
What suffering has sown.
The Blade Master didn't get out here. It's just a bug. I don't know. It happens sometimes. So I kind of broke my own rule, but basically it didn't make a huge difference. The Blade Master was supposed to go out first, but she has a delayed attack that took out 2 enemies. And because of the delay attack, the Soul Slinger went first. But there wasn't a huge difference in the order. But what I'm trying to say, the Soul Slinger and the Blade Master should go out first. Either Blade Master first or Soul Slinger first. But those two should be the first 2 to get out. Then the Shield Bearer. And this is what I'm talking about. If I had the Soul Slinger against this enemy, I would not be able to take it down. It would be able to defeat me before I do that. But with the Shield Bearer, I can easily defeat these enemies. The Blade Master can do it as well because they can dish out high damage. But the Shield Bearer is easier. It's guaranteed. Why? Because they can slam to delay this guy indefinitely. See? Now I can delay him indefinitely. He can't act before I act. So one-on-one Shield Bearer is easy to... One-on-one Shield Bearer can defeat pretty much every enemy in this game. However, there are some enemies, strong enemies, the Soul Slinger cannot take down. And there's also some strong enemies that the Blade Master can't touch as well. And they have anti-melee skills which can interrupt melee attacks. So the Shield Bearer is your best option as the last one to leave. So remember, Shield Bearer, always the last one to go out. Okay, so I can just skip my turns now. Now the Hunter is a very dangerous enemy because they have a base attack which does a decent amount of damage. They actually hit you 3 times. They also have Crush, which does a lot of damage, and also it slows you by 30 for 20 initiative units. Slowing means you're not able to move as much range, so you are not able to move your full range. It basically causes you to use more AP every time you move. Every time you move here, it costs 7 AP. If you get hit by Crush, it will cost 10 AP. Here, it costs 10 AP. If you get hit by Crush, it will cost like 14 AP. So you won't be able to move as far. Basically, these enemies stop you from getting away. They also have Leap and Flailing Limbs. Flailing Limbs is an attack that does huge amount of damage. And it's an AoE attack. It also hits after 60 initiative units. It's easy to get out if you don't go into Burst. But if you go into burst mode, sometimes you can get caught and it can do a huge amount of damage. Leap is also very annoying because Leap can jump over obstacles, so they can actually leap around obstacles. So see, normally I'm not able to move past here, right? Normally I have to go all the way around, but with Leap they can actually leap over obstacles, so they can leap around here. So normal enemies cannot traverse these barriers, but with Leap, this person can. Leap does have a minimum range, and it is not, you can't leap more than 10 tiles. But what these enemies can do is they can move, leap, attack you, and then set up an AoE attack. So they can move normally here and then leap here or leap somewhere else far away, attack you with their base attack, then using flailing limbs. So they can do a lot of things. They will only use crush if your daughter is next to it. So sometimes you can stop them from using leap by placing a daughter right next to them. It does 360 damage. You can absorb it by using Blacksmith's Grace. Okay, so we're just gonna end our turn, but hunters are very dangerous enemies. They're not someone that you want to play around with. But with a shield bearer, they're super easy to deal with because you can just keep slamming them down. It doesn't matter if I go into burst, they cannot act. So I can just keep slamming him down and he's not able to act. I can always act before they act. Okay, but they do have some armor and they also don't have any chance to dodge. So I think I should be able to, yeah, I should be able to do it without a problem. Okay, you can guarantee the
One less to plague the innocent.
Alright, we succeeded. So that's how you beat Penance.
Memories of another life. Guard them well.
So remember with Penance missions, a couple of things. First, you want to spread out the enemy that you take down with your daughters. You don't want one daughter to take down all the enemies together. It's also a mission that you can do with just one daughter. If you decide to do with one daughter, you want to pick the Blade Master because they're the strongest, they do the most amount of damage, and they can quickly defeat enemies so they can escape from the Penance mission. And if I have a chance, I will show you guys how to beat a Penance mission with just one daughter. I've done it a few times. It's very mission specific and it's very, very risky because you can quickly lose your Blade Master because you can easily get overwhelmed. Once you get overwhelmed, you're not able to escape. So it's very mission specific. But I will try to find a way to show you guys. Anyway, but it will be on a separate video, obviously. Second thing is that, another thing is that, well, the third point, make sure your shield bearer is the last daughter to go out. Your Blade Master and your Soul Slinger should go out first, then your shield bearer, because she's the strongest, she can tank, and she can use slam, or she can use, later on you get different skills like shield charge, slam, to delay enemies and to control them. She also has a lot of armor, means she can tank most amount of damage out of all your daughters. Okay, that's Penance mission. Hopefully that was informative.
Let her flourish. We've awoken.
Alright, so that's the Penance mission. And let's go to the next day and have a look at the exclamation mark. I want to leave this mission, so this mission gets carried to the next day. So I have the
Behold,
choices.
An offering from the child. Embrace it with caution.
So the icon with exclamation mark means an event. An event could be positive or negative, and it may affect you or it may just affect the enemy. All units will begin their turn minus 20 initiative points sooner after ending their turn. Swearing revenge, the child forms a union with a powerful entity. Okay, this is very dangerous. This is incredibly dangerous with units that have very high initiative. So with scavengers or ravengers, this pact is very dangerous. Why? Because instead of taking 40 initiative per turn, they take turn at 20 initiative units. So be very, very, very careful. You want to make sure you're very careful dealing with units that take turns very quickly. Okay, so we have a challenging penance mission, and we have a rescue mission. So I guess I'll get to show you guys how to do penance mission with one daughter. Alright. I would like to bring another daughter, but for the sake of showing you guys, I will show you guys how to beat penance mission with just one daughter. Maybe I will just make her a little bit stronger. See if I have anything to increase. Okay, so this increases the damage of skill by 20%. Yes, I will do that, so I can have a one-hit takedown. And I will increase critical chance. Alright, okay, I guess I get to show you guys how to do penance mission with just one daughter. Now, because it's a challenging mission, so it shouldn't be too difficult. And challenging penance missions are the best type of missions to do, because they give you a lot of experience, although they don't give you
We must
V-type.
prepare to pay any price.
Okay. I also have a daughter with 110 AP, so I should be able to do this without too much of a problem. Should is the key word here.
We delve deep into the dark corners.
So notice I only have to defeat certain amount of enemies, so I'll be able to escape from the penance mission. Now, I need to be careful because these enemies are going to take turns very, very quickly. So I need to take care, and I think all units will begin their turn -20, right? So these guys should be able to act. Okay. So they will be able to take turns very quickly, right? Yeah. So need to be very, very careful here. So they can take turns very fast. Okay, I need to do a lightning strike here.
Shred them down.
And I need this hit to hit. Okay, good. Alright, that was a bit scary. If I can do this, it should be okay now. These guys are very far away, so I don't need to worry about them at all. Although they will be taking turns very quickly, it doesn't matter to me too much, because I'll be able to get to them before they get to me. Look how quickly they're taking turns. It's very, very risky.
Progress has its setbacks.
Alright, GG.
Memories of another life. Guard them well.
I just had to make that hit. There was just one hit that I was very nervous about, and that was the 85% chance to hit, because I need to make that hit. If I don't make that hit, it's going to be a real problem for me. I'm going to take a ton of damage, because now this mission should be normally very, very easy with a Blade Master. It was difficult because all the enemies take turns -20. So that means the scavengers can go at 20 initiative units, and I will not be able to do that. So it's really, really bad. But we did it. We managed to beat Penance Mission with one daughter. I told you guys, especially that mission was very easy. I only need to gain 3 points. Now, I asked myself, I probably should have gone for the Plague Guard there, because that would be easier, but I wasn't 100% sure. I went for the scavengers because they're a lot easier, they're more guaranteed. With Lightning Strike, I can easily take down them. Lightning Strike only does low damage, but it's a guaranteed hit. It cannot be dodged. You can't dodge it. It's a guaranteed damage. So because it was guaranteed damage, I knew I could guarantee to take down 2 scavengers. But yeah, I was a little bit nervous because that 85% chance hit had to connect. So there was some there's random there's some RNG in the background, because if I didn't make that hit, it was gonna be a real big problem for me. I could have used Imbued Blade to guarantee the hit, but I'm going to take some serious damage if I use Imbued Blade. So anyway, maybe I should have gone for the Plague Guard, because that would have given me 3. I think that would have just allowed me to escape. But as you can see, it is possible to do Penance Mission with just 1 daughter.
Though the danger passes, we must prepare for the next.
Alright, everyone, I'm going to take, I'm just going to make a cut here. So, I don't think we have enough time to do the other missions. These missions are going to take a bit of time. So, I am going to go for the rescue mission, obviously, because that's going to give me a resurrection token. And I might do the hunt mission later. So, this event, packed, minus 2 days, or packed at 2 days, it is a pretty difficult one, because units that have high initiative, so like scavengers, are a real problem. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.